Join.
Welcome, everybody, to the fifth season of Spellbound Survivor Dungeon Crawler. We just submitted you all in. We're going to get straight into business. And before I get started with talking about the rules, going over the twists, the tribe divisions, I just want to say thank you to the newbies that have applied, expressed interest in Spellbound for the first time this season. Thank you so much for checking us out and giving us a chance. We hope that you have a fun time, however short or long your tenure in this game is going to be. And for all the alum expressed wanting a second chance, wanting some redemption, who thought positively of their past Spellbound experience to give us another go. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. I've always wanted to do a fans versus favorites, to cast returnees, period, in my hosting tenure. This is my first opportunity to do so. Super grateful. Love you guys. All right, let's go over the rules. Assuming this is no one's first org, you should know relatively what you guys are getting into and what you guys should do. But we just want on record that we told you not to do it. Yeah, right. What are orgs? First rule, no cross-tribe communication unless we permit you to. Of course, we'll be dividing you up into tribes afterwards. You will only be able to communicate with members of your tribe unless explicitly said otherwise. If we give you a power, the opportunity to socialize with people from other tribes, then by all means, the floor is yours. But otherwise, do not do it. Second question, any comments that discriminate against particular players, make people feel uncomfortable, or display general mean-spiritedness will result in repercussions. Um, Anything homophobic, racist, sexist, ableist. It will be up to production's discretion as to what the course of action will be as far as the extremity of those repercussions. Um, Three, any decisions made by production are carefully made with everyone's input. I'm not just going to be the only one making these decisions. Me, Tawny, Jared, Cam, Xander will all be on call, deliberating as to what the smartest course of action will be moving forward. These decisions will be final and must be respected by the players, whether they be challenge results or any other situation presented to them, that whether it's public. Four, speaking of challenges, there are no loopholes. If you think you found a shortcut to be able to win a challenge. No, you didn't. Unless we explicitly provide clarification or explicitly say something is allowed, it's not. Players are encouraged to ask questions if they don't understand the rules, but there will be no additional rules during challenges unless an oversight occurs. Like if there's something that we did not consider in the preseason and we need to clarify, okay, this thing is not allowed, then yes, we will do that. But otherwise, we'll try to be slick. Five, all discussion with players in the game must take place in the server. If you're not on the same tribe as a player, we've already aforementioned this, you're not allowed to communicate with them about the game unless we say that you can. And look, we understand some of y'all are friends, y'all play lots of these games, you get close to one another, and we trust are basically implementing an honors code. We're going to trust that whomever on this cast you may be acquainted with or may be close friends with, you guys are discussing personal matters and not game matters outside of the server. Please do not discuss matters that will compromise the integrity of the game, whether it be personal messages, voice calls, etc. You will each be granted one-on-one chat channels and VC channels. Please be appropriate in them. If you want an alliance chat, you will be informing us, and we will create it for you. But if there's anything vulgar you'd rather us on production not see, then you shouldn't send it. Just don't send it. It just, above all, please just have unclosed. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised by what we saw last season. Please. Six, you are invited and encouraged to do confessionals, whether they be pre-recorded, live, and to submit VLDRs. However, if there's anything you need to express to prod, they will allow an open forum for you and your host chat, and you will hold confidentiality, and we will hold confidentiality with anything you may be uncomfortable expressing to the VL or other players. If you have any issues you'd like to report personally to production, this is where you will share them. If something happens in the game, we want you to inform us here, and we will address it. Do not disclose these matters in one-on-ones unless we give you the green light to. So if something goes down between you and a player, we may time out a player, leaving them so that they are not able to communicate with anybody in the game. Please do not bring this to other people's attention unless we say, okay, matter was resolved. You can continue now. Seven, speaking of host chats, I know a couple people asked, each player is allowed to invite two guests to join these chats. We will not allow overlap. So let's say Tawny and Jared both want to be in my chat, cool, but they can't be in Cam's or Xander's either. You have to commit. You can only pick one. We also expect that the guests do not leak or share any information to the VL, other spectators, or especially any other players. So whomever you do choose, they have an obligation to, they have a responsibility to not share anything that they know that you shouldn't know. Eight, as far as strikes go, failure to vote by the deadline or failure to participate in a challenge without informing production by the deadline will result in a strike. Three, consecutive strikes will result in removal from the game. So, for example, if let's say I fail to compete in a challenge that I lose, and I failed to vote during the tribal, and then I failed to compete in the next challenge, I would be removed from the game because that is three consecutive strikes in a row. But again, it has to be back to back to back. So if for some reason I don't participate in a challenge, I don't vote, but I compete in the next challenge, that is fine. I can do that. Production can override this rule though if we feel that the player's inactivity is severe or extreme. So if for some reason I'm not voting by participating in challenges or vice versa, and production is very concerned, then I may be removed from the game, or we may have to further discuss that with the player in question. Last thing, have fun. Just enjoy yourself. This is meant to be a fun experience for fans, orgers, new and old. As a, well, now it's a newly assembled prod team, we will be working diligently to perform our responsibilities and provide every player with as fun and inclusive of an experience as possible. For those of you who are familiar with the series, you are familiar with my co-host Tawny, who's been with me since season one. Cam joined during season two. Xander, also, just like Cam, played season one, joined last season. Jared, who had played last season, had hosted for the mini and now is fully on prod as a full-fledged member of production. Yes. So, a couple questions that a couple people were asking before about your graphics. First thing, the player number. It's not important, just an aesthetic thing. What we did was in the order that you were introduced, you would get a number. So Zach, for example, he was in season one. He was the last person introduced, so he's player number 16. And then we went through each cast that we had revealed in order. So if you're familiar with Smash Ultimate, basically that, it's just an order of debut and first to last. Hence why all the newbies are all back to back to back to back to back. It's nothing crazy. As far as race is concerned, you're all humans. You probably were questioning wondering a little bit about that. Because as far as I'm concerned, all 18 of you are actual humans in real life. That's again, that's something that Tawny will discuss a little bit moving forward. Sadam's nodding her head because she's an alien and someone here is a robot. Love that for us. But Tawny, is there anything you want to share before I go into tribe divisions?
Yeah, so I'll just go over the idol stuff quickly. Um, if you are not familiar, I never do the same idol thing twice. I always do something new, fun, different. And I try to go on theme as much as I can. So the theme this season is Dungeon Crawler Carl. It is a wonderful book series that I recommend everyone listen to and not read. It is meant to be listened to. Because Jeff Hayes, amazing. Anyway, um, so the whole thing with this is you are a human. You have entered the dungeon and you are going in with what you have on your back. And you have opportunities to get fun items as well as to purchase these fun items that can do multiple things. Um, a lot of the idle stuff, it won't be open tonight. Tonight is for y'all to get to know your tribes, have fun. Idle stuff will be done tomorrow. That's when the shop will open. That is when fights are open, which you will see later on. As you all know, y'all all answered a bunch of really fun, interesting, unique questions coming into this game. Y'all have stat points. Y'all all have different strengths, charisma, constitution, intelligence, and something else. I don't have it in front of me, but y'all all answered things, had a possibility of a score from 0 to 10 in each of those stat points. You will use those to battle said things. And you have a chance to increase them. One of the ways that will be a permanent increase is if you make it to floor 3, you will get the chance to change your race and to pick a class. That will give you different stat points depending on what you go for. So if you make it there, congratulations. Um, trying to think. I think that's going to be all for the idle stuff for now until it opens tomorrow. Is there any questions just while we have the majority of y'all here, for me to answer regarding idle things? It might make a little bit more sense once y'all see it, which again, shop will be open tomorrow. Oh, one thing before I do forget. Um, when it comes to equipping items, you actually have to equip them. And you can only have one type of item equipped at a time. So, like, you can't have two hats on your head. You have one head, you get one hat. You have one neck. Like, it'll make sense that they're broken up into types in the shop. So just be aware of that as well. Sorry. Um, and if you have any questions with other items that you may receive, um, then so be it. You will get, y'all are all going to start off with coins for the shop that will be given out later. And you do get a chance to get coins every day without having to do anything, essentially. It'll be a random draw of how many coins you get. And I think that is all I have. Jacob, if you want to go into tribes.
Indeed, I will. So, of course, as you saw in the cast reveal, half of you are completely new to Spellbound Survivor or anything affiliated with Spellbound, whereas the other half is familiar, whether you played a long-term game or played one of or both minis. So certainly we have to divide you up by fans versus favorites or by first times versus second or third timers and whatnot, right? Well, let's see for ourselves. Okay, on the Raluve tribe, we have the following players. We have Marvin, Ryu, Sergio, and the favorites on that tribe will be Aaliyah, Caleb, and Tommy. So we have three tribes of six, split up evenly, three newbies, three veterans. On the Baravi tribe, the newbies that we have are Aston, Morgan, and Sanam, and the favorites will be Bryant, Jeremy, and Kevin. As for everybody else, you'll be on the Vuluvu tribe. The newbies on there are Edward, Issa, and Lily, and the veterans are Jaywan, Mikey, and Zach. Your emojis are no coincidence. They are correlated to the color of your tribe. Raluve is pink, ergo you have a heart. Um, Baravi is tan, so you get a scroll. And Vulavu is blue, so you get a diamond. Also not relevant. It's just for aesthetic reasons, just to make it easier. We know who's on each tribe. We will be getting guys all settled in, both into your one-on-ones and your tribe chats. If there's anything missing, whether it be the text channels themselves or VCs, please let us know. If you see something you should not know, please let us know. Because if we find out that you have access to something you shouldn't have beforehand, and you didn't bring that to our attention, ain't gonna be good. But do we have any questions before we kick you all off the Zoom and you guys go on and socialize? Great. Welcome everybody to Spellbound Survivor Season 5, Dungeon Crawler. Rookies versus veterans. I have to kick all y'all out now and get the hell off my Zoom.